Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video on the iCraft server. So you may notice that I am wearing a different skin and that there's a little pumpkin banner. That's because if everything goes according to plan, this should be the Halloween episode, releasing on Halloween. So I have a Halloween skin. If you cannot tell, I am a pumpkin. See, I even have a little stem on my head. Anyway, so for today's episode, again, this is going to be our Halloween episode, so we're going to be doing some fun Halloween-themed kind of stuff. It's going to be fun and Halloween-y, maybe even a little scary at some points, but probably not, because, you know, why? So let's get on with that. Now, to start, I think we should designate an area for all the Halloween activities we're going to do. If you don't know where we are, we're in a little valley area. My castle is up there, and the greenhouse is over in that direction, and my current all chests kind of house base is over in that direction. Oops, I fell in a hole. So I think we are going to designate this area across the river as the Halloween area. So we're going to make a quick little bridge. Now this is what we have for the bridge so far, but I think we should make it just a little bit wider. I'd say it does look pretty good for something in diagonals, which I'm not too experienced with. Okay, so we've made the bridge wider, and this is making me think that we should heighten it just a little in the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that makes this the middle. And let's see how it looks now. I'd say that that is a lot better, and it is a very nice arch going over the water into back home and to the Halloween area that we're making. Now you may be wondering, so what are we going to be doing in this little area, this Halloween area? And I'm going to say, hold on to your horses for just a second. First we need to clear an area so that we can actually have room to do things. So I'm going to get that done real quick. So the first thing we're going to have is a little place where you can bob for apples. And although you can't actually bob for apples in the way I'm gonna make it, it's just like, it's gonna look nice, which I feel like is important. It's not there for purpose, it's there for the aesthetics, which is fun. Okay. So this kind of water trough design is basically, this is just a spruce trapdoor, or a bunch of them, with spruce on the inside bottom and water inside. So what we're going to do is we are going to, and I know my inventory is very crowded, I just have a lot of stuff that we may need later in the episode. We're going to take an armor stand. Let's start with this one. Okay, nope, that's not what I wanted to do. We also want some dirt, just for the moment. This dirt is going to be gotten rid of. So we're going to put our armor stand right there. Then we are going to play with it for a second, and we want the stand to be not visible. We want the stand to have arms, which means it can now hold this apple. Now, for the moment, this is not what we want. We are going to, where is it? Main hand with head, switch main hand with head, so that the apple is now on its head. So if we just get rid of that, now that's still not great. So we are going to, oops, I'd like that back, thank you. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move it down, which is Y, I believe, by 8. A little more. It's a little too far, apple. Can you come back up? Okay, so we're gonna raise it up just a little. Oh, right. One thing you do have to do if you're gonna do this is you have to apply gravity. You have to turn that off so that it doesn't fall down by itself, which is what was happening just there. So we're gonna make it a little higher. Then a little higher. And then a little higher. And then just a wee bit higher. Okay, and that's good. Now it's night, so I'm gonna go sleep. Okay, so now that I'm back for sleeping, let's do another apple. So this one we're gonna have facing this direction. And real quick, if we just show arms. Cool. Now here's an apple. Now we're gonna put it to attention, so that its arms are straight and flat, so that this apple is gonna look like it's just floating straight. Now we're gonna make it invisible. It's not what I wanted to do. Okay, but anyway, now we know that's the one we're doing. So, we do not want it visible. We want to... Okay, then we're gonna break these dirt blocks. Okay, now it's in the water. So, what we're gonna do is we are going to turn gravity off. Then we're gonna make it be just 3 higher. Now that's just about perfect, but we want it to be just 1 or 2 lower, so that's just sitting on top of the water, not flying in the air. Or do we want it to be 1 lower? Yes, I feel like that's just about perfect. Okay, so now let's do another one. Put another armor stand right over here. Okay, maybe a slightly submerged apple is good. So here is our little apple trough in case we want to go bobbing for apples. Isn't that nice? I also forgot to show it in the last clip, but here's a bit of a better view of the area now that the area is cleared. Now, the next thing we're going to do is a small pumpkin patch. So, if we just put some pumpkin seeds, oops, in regular places, we will have... These will eventually grow into pumpkin plants and will grow pumpkins that we could use for jack-o'-lantern carving if we so wished. And it's just a nice kind of aesthetic thing as well. Kind of like the watering trough. Now we also have a lot of bone meal right now because we've been collecting a lot of stuff, specifically wheat for hay bales. So we've been recycling some of the excess seeds into bone meal, which is really helping right now to get all of the pumpkins to their full height. Okay, our first pumpkin has grown. Let's keep putting in these pumpkin plants. Okay, we've got another pumpkin. Now let's bone meal some of these newer ones. That is not the direction I meant for them to go in, but pumpkin patches do not always grow in just ordinary segments. Sometimes there's a little bit of randomness, which can be nice. That pumpkin growth was almost instantaneous. And that is the last of all the pumpkin seeds we have. And our pumpkin patch is really starting to come together. You can see it all starting to grow up. Real quick, I'm just gonna add some more bone meal to some of the slightly more green batches of pumpkins. We will check back at regular intervals to see how many pumpkins have grown, and occasionally harvest some in case we need any more. And I almost forgot a very important part. Not only should we carve some of these pumpkins. How do you carve a pumpkin again? What is it? How do you carve it? Is it shears? I think it might be shears. Where'd I put my shears? Where are my shears? One sec, I'm gonna go grab some shears. Okay, as I was saying, a very important part is the carving of the pumpkins, which I have now just done. And not only that, but I mean, I'm a little worried about birds, which do not really exist in Minecraft in the form of crows and stuff. But still, I'm worried about birds eating my crops. So what do? Well, what else other than make a little scarecrow? So, this is a very simple scarecrow design. But it looks like a scarecrow, and it does the job of scaring crows. I mean, I've never seen a crow by a Minecraft farm after I've placed one of these down. Have you? No. It's because they don't exist in Minecraft. But, I mean, doesn't that mean it's working? Kind of. Not really, but kind of. So now, we have 2 scarecrows to guard against birds so that they don't eat all our pumpkins. Now, I gotta go sleep. Now that we are back from sleeping, you can see the scarecrows in the proper light, and I really do think they look good. Now, I know there are other designs for scarecrows, but I feel like this one's a very simple design that does the job quite well. Now, for a bit more decoration, I think what would be nice is if we had some pumpkins on our little bridge over here. Oops, wrong level. Then another one. Ooh, we might want a torch. Do we have a torch? Yes, we do. This one, I think, would be nice as an actual jack-o'-lantern as opposed to just a pumpkin, carved pumpkin. And how do we make jack-o'-lanterns? Well, a torch plus a carved pumpkin. And we have both of those things. You can also put another pumpkin right there. I think that'd be nice. So far, we have our little bridge entering our little Halloween area. We have a pumpkin farm, or a pumpkin patch, with a bunch of scarecrows, which does seem to be doing quite well pumpkin-wise. We have a little station for bobbing for apples. But what else could there be that kind of fits with the autumnal Halloween theme? What other than a corn maze? And I know there isn't exactly corn in Minecraft, which is why I used hay bales. I know there are other options like sunflowers, it's just hay bales looked pretty good, I felt like, for this general aesthetic, and also sunflowers. I didn't have access to those at the moment. So I feel like hay bales were a worthy alternative. Now, I've already laid out the pattern. All I have to do is fill it up to the second height. Now that we've got the corn maze built up to its full height, I think we can officially hang the Halloween banner by the front gates. Yay! Now this is a pumpkin design that I really like. I found it online. If you want to know how to make it, it's very simple. You start with a black base, then you do the cross pattern, then you do a 1/3 black at the bottom, and the cross pattern's in orange, by the way. Then you do 1/3 black at the bottom, then the orange outline, and then you do the green top spikes for the floral kind of leafy feel. So the maze, so now we've got the maze, the pumpkin patch, the scarecrows, bobbing for apples, a way over to the area, and a whole lot of pumpkins. What could be next? The next thing that I think would be nice to add is a little stall, like a market stall, for selling some stuff. A little market stall that would be good for selling pumpkin pie. So first we're gonna take some shaved spruce logs and put them right there because they match up nicely with barrels, which I meant to place facing a different direction, so that the top of the barrel kind of coincides with the inside of the log. Now, we also probably want some signs to demonstrate what we are going to sell. First, we're going to have pumpkin pie. No, I want to go back. So I can add an exclamation point. Then we're going to have a little, we're going to have a little arrow. Oops. No, not there. Right there. A little arrow pointing down. So firstly, with the pumpkin pie, here we have some pumpkin pies. Then we're also going to put another one right there. We're going to keep a couple for ourselves. And the pumpkin pies are absolutely free. Now, for the hot apple cider, these are going to be $1 each in the form of potions of fire resistance. These are the 8-minute kinds, the longer lasting duration. These are fire resistance, so that's pretty good for only $1 at this stage in the game. I'm not quite that good yet. We haven't even defeated the Ender Dragon yet. So now that we have this market stall, what else could we have at our little Halloween, autumn pumpkin patch fair kind of thing? We have the pumpkin patch, the scarecrows bobbing for apples, a maze, a little market stall selling pumpkin pie and hot apple cider, a bridge coming over into the Halloween area. But what else could we have? Now we are going to build a giant haunted mansion. You can see me starting it up there just slightly, and we've got all the other materials we need. So let's go look at the layout. So far I haven't put a lot in yet. I just want to give you some progress updates, which I'm going to put in occasionally. Also, to get some of the materials, it was kind of hard. It was kind of hard to get some of those materials, like the cobwebs. So, but good news, I found a mine shaft. Let's roll that clip now. So, for my haunted mansion, I need some cobwebs, which are kind of hard to find. Zombies, would you please quiet down for 1 second? No, I guess I'll just have to kill them. But, for my haunted mansion, I need some cobwebs. So, I found an abandoned mine shaft, and we're gonna get some cobwebs. Yay! Okay, so we're going to keep building our new spooky haunted mansion. So I normally would have done this part in the form of a time lapse, but we don't have a lot of time left in the episode, so I'm going to be doing progress updates on the mansion. I also found a wolf wandering around and tamed it, so I've got my first, not my first, sorry, I was just remembering the first, or maybe it was the second episode, but that was sad. A new doggy. Anyway, so far we've built the frame of the house. And so we'll get back in a second to see what else we filled in. So for now, it's just the frame. So time for our next progress update. We've laid out all the floor plans, and even for the second floor now, and we've started the third floor tower, because there's going to be a tower in this haunted mansion, and a surprise little pitfall. So I'll get back to you with another progress update in a second. So we have finished the haunted mansion. Now, I'm not going to give you a tour on the inside of it, because there's a lot of surprises that are going to be spoiled. I think Loba the Doge might, at one point, do a little tour of the mansion, or, like, just go through it and, you know, have fun in it. And I hope he does, because I've put a lot of effort into it, and, yeah, I think it'd be really cool. But I'm not going to spoil it in this episode, at least. I might also do a run-through in a later episode. So, for this episode, we're finished with the Halloween area. We've got the little pumpkin pie and hot apple cider stand. I've also added some pods all around to put in like a nice texture on the ground. So, and we also have our little maze. We have our bobbing for apples. We have our pumpkin patch, scarecrows, and I got a llama. And also, if you remember, we got a brand new puppy. We got a brand new puppy, which is nice. We'll bring that over to our house. We'll bring him over to our house in the next episode. And we've also finished the Halloween Haunted Mansion. You can see some cobwebs and all kinds of jack-o'-lanterns. We've got a tower. And that is it for this episode from me. Now, if you enjoyed this content and haven't already, please consider subscribing. And I will see you later. Nice Halloween. Woo, spooky. Bye. Bye.